all of that, please. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mrs. Wright, I'm sorry that you're bored, but I would really want you to focus on the memory. Based on our agenda, Summer, what do you think is going to be next in our interactive notebook?
Oh, I'm sorry. Inequality.
Very good. Inequalities. What page are we on? I'm on 89. Did you all put stuff in there without me?
Yesterday.
Oh, some of you put the more notes in, that's right. Well, I'm on 89, so I don't know where you all are. But that's where I am. That's okay. At this point, we should be getting a little bit off from each other, because if you're feeling like you need to take notes, then you shouldn't be where everybody else is. Crystal, what does the suffix, what does the prefix in mean?
So when I think of in, like adding to something or adding to, putting to.
What word did you hear me say?
In.
In, I-N.
So I think of in like the stuff that you like adding to something or putting to something.
Why? Give me a word that in is the beginning of it that means to add.
Like indoor, when you have something indoor, you're going in something or into something like a building, you're going in instead of out. Indoor.
Okay. How's that adding to the door?
I mean, you're not adding to the door, but you're adding to something inside wherever that door is. Well, not what a door is, but
Maybe we want to reconsider what the prefix in means. Kiara.
It means like not.
It means like not, or it means not?
It means not.
It means not. What is the word equality? Where does that word come from? What root word? Kendra. Equal. So, based on what Kiara told us, eliminate what Crystal said, and what Kendra told us, what can I assume the definition of an inequality is, Doshonda?
it's something that are not equal.
Beautiful. Give her some snaps. So sometimes, ladies, we just have to think about the words themselves to figure out what it is. So let's get to 89 or whatever page you're on. We give you 10 seconds to get the top filled out correctly. There are 4 inequality symbols that you should know. How many?
4.
Thank you, Destiny. Please get them in your notebook. List them. So jot down the symbol and write what the symbol means. Please. Here are mine. Hopefully they're the same as yours. If they are not, please fix them. Yours, not mine. Maybe you want to share their tricks for what they remember, how they can remember each one, because they do get kind of tricky every once in a while. Ashley, what do you use?
I use parameter or the alligator thing because it's like wherever the map is facing or wherever the open part is, that's where it's going to be under the stars.
Absolutely. Well, how was that equal sign down at the bottom? What is that?
Equal sign, it's like, it's either going to eat the number that's equal to, because you know it's equal to because of the line in the that's bigger or greater than it.
Okay. How many of you use Ashley's strategy? I won't lie, I've used it before. So what Ashley just described, that's a really good way so you know which way to point the sign when you're just plugging in the sign. But how do we remember what each sign is called? Because that doesn't really help us know the name of the sign. It helps us know which one to place when we're comparing two numbers or two values. But how do we remember the names of it? Crystal?
I remember in 5th grade we had this craft, and like when we first started learning symbols, you do your hand like this. It kind of looked like an L. So, well, you do it like an L, and you make the, you take the fingers.
That's not L.
No, like you.
Wait,
I'm doing it wrong. Thank you.
The L, capital L.
That's not an L.
that's the wrong way. That's the
I know, but did you?
Oh,
You have to use the correct hand. Don't say you have to use the right hand.
You have to use the right
Use
hand.
the correct hand, which is your left hand. L, left. Less than. Starts up with an L as well. Don't say you use the right hand. No, you use the correct hand, which is the left hand.
No one got that jump. No.
I'll be honest with you. Expect on the next quiz that you see to be able to tell me what each of those are.
Yeah, that's
For some. For some. Okay. We're going to jump right into exploring some things about how to get that inequality that's written like this. What's a good example? Rather than taking that equal sign there, I'm now going to put that there instead. I can solve that, and I solve it the exact same way that I would an equation. And we've done that before in the past. So today what we're going to focus on is how to get that on a graph. How would this look on a graph? If I have a coordinate plane, what is this going to look like, Alicia?
I think you're going to be putting the 5 at, wait, is that another 5? No.
Doesn't matter the values. I just want to know, what is this going to look like on a coordinate grid? First, it might help you if we get it in the right order for you, how we did it earlier. That's the correct. It's in point slope form now, yes? Okay. No, it's not. That's not point slope form. Slope intercept form.
You're gonna start at 14.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Where? Anywhere? Just pick a 14.
No, on the y-axis.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna go down 10 over 1.
This way or this way?
I think to the right.
You are correct. And then, so if I ask what does my graph look like, it looks like a straight line. You agree? It's linear. What is it?
Linear.
Okay. So what if I have this one? What's that going to look like on a coordinate grid? It's in slope-intercept form. Is it not? But the only thing that has changed is this. That must mean something. And it does. Our intercept is still, y-intercept is still 14. Our slope is still negative 10. The points are exactly the same. But from that point forward, things change. and our bodies don't really like change sometimes. Everything is the same until I get, what do I do next? And that's where we're now going to explore a little bit. So you are going to get a little packet from me. Nope, not a packet first, just a worksheet. Miss Daniels, what are you going to put on it when you get it? Your what? Your header. Please take one and pass it. As I'm talking, and as we're discussing, if there's something that's said that you want to write in your interactive notebook, please do so. I'm not going to say, hey, Summer, write this down. Hey, Claudia, you better write this down. Not going to say that. We will eventually glue this in. Does it have a back to it?
Yes.
Sorry, I can't glue it in there. Yes, ma'am. There are probably some extras coming. Thank you, girl. Full header. And what we've got here is we want to graph something that we already know how to do. We already know how to do this, right? Do we? I have two options. How many options do I have? Two. I can change it into slope-intercept form, or I can just do an input-output chart. Plug in some x values and get my y value. And that creates an ordered pair. Or I can say, you know what, let me just pick some ordered pairs. I'm going to pick this ordered pair 2, 1. Does it work? Well, how do I find out? Well, if I plug in 1, where do I plug in 1? For the x or for the y?
The Y.
Why the y, Sophia?
Because it's asking for the y and the x is 2 and the y 2.
Beautiful. And so here I'm going to plug in the 2 for x. Does everybody see that this right here is just these numbers plugged in here? And it equals 4. Are we good? Let's plug in 0, 0. So x is 0 plus, I don't know, what do you want to plus to it? 2 times 0 equals 0. We're not going to worry about this last column for a second, okay? Let's do negative 5, negative 1. Negative 5 plus 2 times what? Negative 1. Be careful because we have some negatives involved now. And what's that equal? What does it equal, ladies? How many of you agree that it's negative 7? How many of you say it's definitely not negative 7? It's definitely something else. How many of you can prove it? Okay. There's a definite issue there. Some of you agree, but you can't prove it. Erica, come on down. You're the next contestant. The price is right. Prove it. Negative 5 times 2 times negative 1. For some reason, you all said negative 7. I don't know why. Prove it to me. What's that? Oh, what? That means multiply. Okay. So by the way, so they can see. Negative 5 plus negative 2 is negative 7? I thought it was 3. They're both negative. Keep the same sign, just add them. Good, thank you. Got to have those review moments every once in a while. Yeah, here's some snaps. Snack rep. Negative 7 Well, I see, ladies, I've kind of run into an issue. Based on this line here, it says that whatever works should equal -2. I'll be honest with you, I definitely have not gotten -2 each time. Which tells me something about these coordinates. They're not equal to -2. They are either greater than -2, or they are less than -2. So now, if you look here, we can see it's now asking us, did our answer become less than -2? The one that we got. Is 4 less than -2? Why'd they put yes? That's weird. That is weird. Deshonda, we need to plug in our x and y's? Right here. So if I do 2 plus 2, that's less than -4? I mean less than -2? Because I got 4, right? We plugged it in already right here. How many of you want to put no? How many of you want to keep the yes? How many of you aren't sure? How many of you are like, I'm going to keep it there because it's there, it must be right. But we don't know why. So this is what I'm evaluating, right? Is that what I'm evaluating? Yes. What I plugged in for. That's the exact same thing right here. So I want to know, is what I plug in here less than my value over here? Is 4 less than -2? Should this answer be 4? We got all kinds of unknowns. We can't move on. Lord Jesus.
It's a
Daniels.
I say that the answer should be no because you talking about for number 1, right?
For the coordinates that we have up there, 2, 1.
Oh, I agree that it should be yes because once you do it, like once you start plugging the numbers, it just starts to make sense. When you get 4 and you know 4 is not greater than -2 because it's above 0. Well, it is greater than. It's not less than. Wait, hold on. Okay.
The sign matters, doesn't it?
Yes.
So maybe there's not an easy 100% right there.
But it's great. 4 is greater than -2, so
I agree with you that it is greater than -2, but that says it's less than -2.
oh, then that's wrong.
Oh, okay, thank you. How many of us agree with Destiny now she's processed it for us? We don't have everybody agreeing with you though. We have to, who else can kind of put it their own words to get more people in agreement with us? Deja.
I think this is trying to say that 4 is above the 0 and 2 is under the 0.